What's up YouTube, it's your boy Samurai coming back at it with another reaction video for you today. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me through this journey. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, so thank you all so much. I can't say that enough. Today we have Dream Theater. So I've known about this band for several years. Way back when I started getting into prog rock, I remember hearing about this band a lot. And I'm pretty sure I checked out a couple of their songs. Well, I know for sure at least one. But like I said, I was just getting into prog rock. And prog metal is a whole different thing. Like, obviously, they have similarities. But if you like one of those genres, you know that sometimes it can be a little challenging for a newcomer to understand the genre. And like I said, I was just getting into prog rock and trying to understand that. So when I was listening, like a couple of things that I would listen to as far as prog metal, it wouldn't really stick for me because I wasn't sure exactly what I was listening to. Like, even that was when I started finding out about Tool, and I would listen to some Tool songs, and I thought they were cool, but like, it took me a couple years before I really like enjoyed their music. And Tool is really the only prog metal band that I listen to at all, really. So figured I'd do this. I saw they came out with a new album or something, but I saw a couple new singles that they just released, and I was gonna do that, but I'd rather start with their older stuff. I think this would be one of their older songs. It's the most popular that I saw. So let me know. Let me know if this is a good song to start with. I don't know what era this is from. Is this from their beginning, the beginning of the band, about the middle or so, or is it some of their later stuff? I have no idea. The only thing I know about Dream Theater is their guitarist, John Petrucci. I know his name and I know what he looks like, but other than that, I really don't know much about him. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Like I mentioned in my previous videos, I did get some new studio monitors. So I've got some Barefoot Footprint O2s, which are some much better monitors than I had before, which are about $400 or so. So these were a huge step up, and I've had these for almost a week now, so I've enjoyed them a whole lot. Still trying to get used to them, but that's why I went away with the headphones. I'm going with these now because they give me a better representation of the sound. And yeah, so let me know if you guys enjoyed this new style. And if you see me looking down, I've got my little notepad here. I wanted to start taking notes because I just have a really short memory span, so I forget a lot of things that I want to say. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. I'm just writing a couple notes, so when I get to the end of the video, I will have everything that I wanted to say. I'll try to pause the video just once at the around halfway point or so, and then at the end I will add my final comments. So yeah, without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, let's stop before the guitar solo. So this is definitely not what I was expecting. For some reason, like I expected something heavier, but this is really mellow, triumphant, powerful sounding. And the instrumentation, the arrangement, everything is great. I love how it just builds up to what it is now. So at the beginning, you have the piano and the acoustic guitar playing in unison, the same riff. You've got the bass just kind of following along, the root notes, and then the vocal joins in, which is nice. If you're not familiar with what to listen for, then you might think it's just the piano at the beginning with the bass, but there is an acoustic guitar in there for sure. The drummer's doing a great job. I love his hi-hat work and just these nice fills. The panning of the toms, something I really enjoy. Reminds me of Tool, reminds me of Rush. They give you this symphony of toms and they pan them all over, so you have this just surround sound of drums. It takes the drum set out of that small little box that a lot of people put them in and just spaces them out and adds a lot of dimension to them. The vocalist, let me know his name in the comments. Phenomenal singing. It's like, for me, you guys know I like to compare stuff just to put it in perspective, and my perspective, give you my perspective on what I'm hearing when I'm listening. So his vocals remind me of like a hybrid between John Anderson from Yes and Geddy Lee from Rush, especially when he hits those higher notes, that higher register. It's got a very similar characteristic and timbre than the two guys I mentioned. So just amazing job. That saxophone though, like that was really unexpected. I don't think I've ever heard a saxophone on a prog metal song. Well, I know they're a prog metal band, but would you guys consider this like a prog metal song? Either way, I was not expecting a saxophone. So that completely blew me away. And the piano sounds like it's an upright piano. I could be wrong. That snare is very snappy. Well, the drums in general are very snappy with sounds like a small room reverb. You've got these guitar swells that are coming in and out with the electric guitar. It almost sounds like a synthesizer at some points, but you do have a synth in the back as a pad. So I think that's all in terms of the instrumentation. You've got electric guitar, acoustic guitar, bass, vocals, drums, synth, saxophone. And the saxophone, is it a session player that came in to play this, or do one of the band members play the saxophone? Do they do it often? If they do, that's awesome. So that's pretty much it. I know you guys always complain about the lyrics. I'm not paying attention to the lyrics. I always say this, but there's a lot, like I'm listening for a lot here. So to listen to the lyrics as well as, and then I'm writing down notes. So just to do all of that, for me at least, it's difficult. So what I'm going to start doing is at the end of this, I'll go ahead and check the lyrics to see what the meaning of the song is, because I know a lot of people get upset that I'm not paying attention to the lyrics. So let's keep going here. Let's see what's up with the solo. John Petrucci, what's good? Oh man. Wow. Oh, beautiful. What a beautiful outro. Back with the fucking saxophone. Wow, that little vibrato or legato, right? Yeah, I guess that would be legato that he was doing there at the end. That wow, that's and then the dynamics of it just starts really soft and smooth and just beautiful, beautiful. And then you could hear the piano and the acoustic guitar, just like in the intro. The outro is very similar. The only thing they added was, well, they took away the vocals. In the outro, they added the saxophone, and then right at the end, you could hear that hi-hat work. Just phenomenal. Amazing song. Amazing song. So, a couple things that I forgot to mention the first time I stopped it. So, you've got some vocal harmonies that come in and out on the build up parts and the climaxes. You've got some guitar reverb and delay that are stereo, it seems like. I think that's about it. In terms of the drums, you can really hear the reverb tail on the snare. And in terms of the primary low end instrument was definitely the bass in this song. The kick drum was there to emphasize the bass and just add some meat to it. I love the way the toms are tuned. They're deep, they're rich, they're full of life and texture. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautifully produced. Let's get into these lyrics real quick so you guys don't kill me in the comments for once. So I've read through the lyrics a few times here. I'm not 100% sure what it's referring to, but the first thing that came to mind was some sort of higher power, some supernatural being just talking to whomever to keep going, to keep living your life, keep holding on strong, keep striving for what you are destined to do, what you are, what your purpose here is, and just keep going. Eventually, the pieces will fall. That's what I got from, and said maybe when it's right for you, they'll fall. Maybe the pieces are going to fall into place. You're going to realize that, all this time that you spent doing the things that you're doing, maybe you thought you were wasting your time. I'm sure we all have those thoughts where you're not really sure what your purpose is here. And a lot of people can get lost just trying to get over that. And this is, I don't know. That's what I got from this. But some of these lyrics do throw me off. Like the first time he says, "You won't find it here, look another way. You won't find it here, so die another day." I'm not sure exactly there. And then, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to decipher these lyrics because I know a lot of times people write lyrics very ambiguously to leave it up for interpretation to the listener. So, yeah, awesome song. I loved everything about it, to be honest, which is kind of unusual. And nothing about this song screams a particular decade to me. The only thing that I heard that had a sort of a particular, like a certain characteristic from a certain decade was the drums. Like I mentioned, the tail on the snare drum is very reminiscent of the 80s, where they would have those ridiculous gated drum reverbs, and it's definitely not done in the same manner here. So maybe this is late 80s, maybe early 90s stuff, because you can still hear that, just that reverb that you had on those drum sounds in the 80s that I just am not very fond of. But here it was done very well, and I only heard it really on the snare drum, and it was not overemphasized and overly used like it was on a lot of pop songs back then and even some rock songs. So that's the only um, characteristic of the song that would make me think it was made in the 80s or maybe early 90s. Other than that, I would probably think this was made late 90s, early 2000s, just because of the sound of it. The sound doesn't seem like something that would have came out back in the 80s or early 90s, but just that small little thing about the snare drum makes me believe that this was recorded in the late 80s. So let me know down below, guys. Let me know how you interpret these lyrics, what they mean to you. Give me some more Dream Theater to listen to. I love this song. This is going to the playlist for sure. Shout outs to that saxophonist. Shout outs to the drummer. Shout outs to the vocalist. Shout outs to John Petrucci. And let me know everybody else's name down at the bottom. Really enjoyed this. Thank you guys so much for checking back in with the Samurai. But this will be all for today, folks. Keep requesting whatever you want to hear, and I'll get to it eventually. But other than that, arigato and sayonara.